bar says we're live, and it said it. It went live in the middle of me saying that, trying to be a smartass. So, internets, you got me. Anyway, welcome back. Infinite Roleplay, House of the Sun, Part 3. Last we left our intrepid, wonderful, heroic, and not very angry or disturbed adventurers. They were in this mansion, this house, this home. They had walked down a long, inconspicuous hall and met a beautiful and inconspicuous naked lady. But yes, they Sir Roland and his bardic associate Talatherel walked down a hall into a realm of Sir Roland's past, seeing a battlefield unfold, armored figures with black powdered weapons destroying a city of, much more lightly armored individuals. Sir Roland himself taking a cannon shot on a horse of his, taking a great deal of wounds and pain. This battle, very, very odd. Sir Helga, Sister Helga, not there while this was unfolding, mysteriously missing the past day or so. But we go back into the House of the Sun, and Sister Helga and Talatherel are there, running from a horde of undead knights, still in this mysterious realm of Sir Roland's creation, with mounted knights chasing you down. Please tell us, Sister Helga, what are you doing?
Sister Helga and her short, stubborn little legs moving as fast as it possibly can, panting heavily, shouts to the elf, "Elf, this way! I can see a way! The ground is marshy, soggy over here. The horses won't be able to gallop over this. This way, this way! Move your scrawny legs!"
Well, I'm going to lope ahead of Sister Helga because I have long legs, scrawny or not. And I'm not even going to... I don't know who this person is really yet, but it's okay. We're going to take off ahead of her. And I'm going to follow her directions, but I'm going to hope that they catch her first. Thus proving you don't have to be the fastest person in the room, just faster than the slowest.
And as these knights begin to close distance, they whip around, each one of them an arquebus, and still, while mounted, begin prepping the arquebus. As they're starting
Incoming!
So seeing them prep the arquebus, seeing them load up the shot, and though they're mounted and they're chasing you down, they're quite comfortable in that saddle. They're large armored horses, a lot faster than you would think. The barding almost being nothing in weight to these things. You hear it. They unleash their fire, the thunder raining down upon you two. What do you do?
Is there a hip and deck move?
Yeah. Facing the dirt, behind any cover possible.
That's my first reaction here is to scream grenade out and hit the deck, but...
But what? Do you do it?
I'm going to hit the deck. I'm not going to scream grenade out.
Oh, okay. So, would both of you be so kind as to roll a Defy Danger using your dexterity?
Indeed, sir. God damn it. Okay, 6.
So, okay, take a point of experience as you
Actually,
learned.
7. 4 plus 1 is 5. Plus. No, I'm right, 6. Never mind, I'm a plus 1 on dex. No, you're right. Sorry, I thought it was plus 2 on dex for a second. So I do take it.
All right, so roll
straight 7 for me.
if you have roll a d8,
Okay.
and it's armor piercing 1.
So I'm taking the full 6. You hit.
Just mark that off as you get shot. As one of these, rounds just finds its way into your side. Helga managed to not get hit. She defied danger, and since Sister Helga is back for the first time, and from a while ago, I'll ask you: would you like to take a hard to bargain, a worse outcome, or have an ugly choice?
I think we'll go for an ugly choice.
An ugly choice. You can avoid the shot, but just as you're about to dive, like you have that feeling, this in between heartbeats, you notice that you're going to dive into a mucky puddle, and the choice is either to stand there and take the shot, or dive into this just puddle of dirt and mud and filth.
And whatever else lies beneath the murky surface, I shall take the pool. Woo! Splush.
Okay, wonderful. You take the pool. Teletheril.
Yes.
After you get hit in your side and your form goes twisting enough so that you see Sister Helga jump into this puddle, this pool. There's a large splash. It's dark and nasty. And as the water begins settling moments later, Sister Helga's gone.
Nice.
And you still have the mounted undead arquebus armed knights making their way to your position.
So they're coming my way. While I'm seeing these guys, because these guys are the first time I've seen them, can I activate my bardic lore here to see what I know about them? As I'm going to, in my extreme panic, I'm going to try to see if I can place what kind of undead these are.
So what does bardic lore do for you again?
When you first encounter an important creature, location, or item covered by your bardic lore, you can ask the GM any one question about it. That's right, I don't have to roll. And you have to answer truthfully. So
ask me one question, and I will answer truthfully.
Are they like flesh and blood undead, or are they skeletal?
They have they do indeed have flesh. Flesh and muscle and meat on top of bone, though they actually do not have blood.
Okay, that's all. I guess that answers that question. So at this point would be a great time to actually arcane art, but I'm not going to do that because it doesn't make a lot of. I really don't have time to pull out a lute and start playing a song right now. I am going to pull out my bow, however, and I'm going to return fire on them with a volley. So that's plus dex, correct?
Go ahead, yeah.
7, so roll 7, which means I've got a choice here. I just got to remember what the choices are.
Yep, you have to move to get the shot, placing you in danger of the GM's choice.
Yeah.
You have to take what you can get minus d6 damage.
Yeah.
You have to take several shots, reducing your ammo by 1.
I'm going to risk the damage, so hang on, I got to get second color die out. Hang on a second. So I know which one's the plus, one's the minus. I do 2 points of damage.
2. Where's my book? Oh, give me a second.
Okay.
I moved my book because I'm a smart person.
No, you're just a gamer.
Got like a dozen books I write in. So you do 2 points of damage, you said, right?
Yep.
Wonderful. I'm happy about that.
Oh, because it doesn't do anything.
So yeah, it just like you fire at this this mounted figure, and your arrow simply grazes off of its plate, off of its full plate that it's wearing.
Nice.
And they continue barreling down on you. They close on your position and start circling you.
Ouch.
There's about a half dozen circling you now. One stops, gets off its horse, and draws a sword. What do you do, Teletherol?
Draws his sword. Oh, now or never. We're gonna try to be charming and open here, which is gonna be fun. I'm gonna speak frankly with them, and
Okay.
this is actually gonna require a roll, and then I'm gonna see how this plays out. So, oh god, a total of 6. So I fail it.
Yep, you mark down a piece of an experience point.
So I'm going to try to be brave and demand knowing who they work for, and basically at this point it's going to be a big stall, hoping to God that the cleric is able to get out of that pole fast enough to save my ass. To be honest with you. It is a stuttering, horrible example of me shaking and nearly pissing myself while trying to sound amazingly, amazingly brave.
The figure says, "We serve the Emperor, and so soon you shall too." Raises his sword and begins to thrust it downward, trying to find purchase in your chest.
Legitimate question. Can I do a defy danger here to try to like roll the fuck out of the way?
Yeah, sure. Defy danger, dexterity. Using dexterity.
Woot! I got an 8.
Okay, so you defy danger at a cost. It's an ugly choice, a hard bargain, or a worse outcome. Now, I think the ugly choice is going to be the same.
Gonna fall into that pit.
So you could dodge, and just in between heartbeats, the very last moment, you know it's either dive into this pool or have that sword dived into you.
Yeah, we're gonna go straight into the pool.
Okay,
Christy Alfernat, with his fine clothing and loot, is going into a pool of muck.
Full of grime and mud and all manner of thing.
Yeah.
So you dive in, and after you dive in, Teletherol, Sister Helga, you come up for air. When you come up, you are not in this dirty, mucky pool. You are in what appears to be a basin, a large basin of water. You rise from the water, and standing in front of this basin is a red-robed figure with a golden mask. And on either side of the basin, you notice 2 armored figures standing completely still. It looks similar. It looks familiar, sorry, to you. Teletherol, the same happens with you. You arise from a water basin, and there is a red-robed figure standing before you. And on either side of the basin,
in my most sardonic asshole voice I can, I'm going to say, and they still managed to get me naked.
No, you're still wearing everything you were wearing.
It doesn't matter. I'm still going to say it just because I want to piss these people off.
All right.
Sister Helga will scrabble out and flop down on the floor on her back.
Like a fish.
Yeah.
I, however, am going to do this in a lot more gracious manner.
Yeah. There is
Step over the edge, you know.
For Sister Helga, you notice that there's a woman there, and she says, it's a blessing that you have found your path and know now that you are without sin. You have washed away your sins, but still you carry the burdens of your life with you. You know, looking at all of your gear that you're wearing while you're arising from the water. And when she says that, you notice, you know, she's wearing a white robe and holding folded red cloth in her hands. What does Sister Helga do at this point?
I'm used to hardship. And these are not all my worldly possessions. See my cross, the hammer, my holy symbol, the one thing that will keep me sane in this crazy world of yours. My friend Sir Roland Amos himself. Where is he?
Roland is burdened by his sins. His past haunts him. We tried to tell you, we tried to let you know, to see our Lord, to unburden yourself, wash yourself of your sins, cleanse yourself, and the way would be made clear. But the choice is, of course, yours.
I cannot. I have already given my body, my soul, to another.
She takes a step back while shaking your head. I said the choice was yours, and indeed it is. I hope you can find your way, but a lost lamb is lost. The lamb requires its shepherd.
I'm no lamb.
She continues to back away as she says this. And going to Teletheril, there is this woman you know, it was the woman that you saw before. And she is, again, in her white robes. She's holding the red cloth folded in her hand. Pleasure to see you again, friend. I see you've decided to wash away your sins.
I kind of spit, like real hard at her feet and go, I didn't decide anything. You tricked me.
She smiles, shakes her head. I did nothing of the sort.
I just kind of shake my head, and my response to this, of course, is like all religious crazies, you have nothing but deceit.
No. See, the choice was yours, and you made it. You're just presented with moments, as we all are, and in these moments we make our choices.
It's not a choice if it's a false dichotomy. You gave me the choice of death or diving into a pond. Who knew the pond would lead here, besides yourself?
You have blinded yourself. Open your eyes. You will see.
Sorry about that, Nelson. My neighbors are fucking shooting a nail gun again.
That's great. So she says, you know, open your eyes and you will see. You are blinded by the burdens you carry with you. And you hold on to them so intently.
My burdens?
You hold on to them so intently.
Who are you to tell me I should let them go?
One who has let go of their own and can now see.
I just kind of shake my head and turn my back on her. I have nothing more to say to you.
She steps back from the fountain and just bows her head, and so too does the red-robed figure with the golden reptilian mask.
Yeah.
And again, not in the same water basins, but in separate water basins in the same hall the both of you are in. That at the end of the hall, at one end of the hall, is the door to the foyer, as it were, and at the other end of the hall is the golden statue of the dragon with its tail coiling around its neck. and a second statue of a double-barred cross behind that. And the 4 passages, the 2 to the left and the 2 to the right of those statues.
Okay, Sister Helga rolls onto her front, onto all fours, onto her knees, and then stands slowly, dripping water onto the stone floor. Shakes her hands a bit. Should really get dried off, but there was only those red robes.
This Sister Helga, while you're trying to shake the water off, you feel that it's clinging a little bit too much.
Like oil? Wipe at it. Is there a sheen?
It's kind of hard to tell because there's a very dim lighting. It's not very brightly lit here, but it looks, exactly like you would expect water to look. It feels like it's clinging on to you a little bit more than it should.
We need to get out of here. She says, taking a step towards the foyer and then stops. But I'm here for a mission. I'm here looking for a sword. Did Sir Roland mention anything to you? Elf?
No, when I last left him, he had been wounded.
No, well, Telethera would know because you were all sent for this holy artifact.
Yeah. However, the artifact seems to have been lost in his desire to start a crusade against this cult.
Crusade?
Told you he was crazy.
That's taking things to an extreme when we don't even have what we came for.
You guys are still in the hall, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're kind of conversing here, I think.
So cool.
Yeah, shivering a bit.
While you're chatting, there is the 2 red-robed figures wearing golden masks and the 2 white-robed wearing women who each have a red robe folded in their arms, standing there listening to you. One says the artifact requires one that is clean, and the other opens her mouth, and holy, without sin, and then the first opens her mouth, and without burden.
Maybe it's just me, but I'm a little creeped out by all the red robes.
According to your laws, to your tenets, to your religion, or to any religion, I'll stare at them both, one after the other.
And again, juggling the sentence back and forth, finishing each other's words. Truth is truth. It's undeniable. We cannot change what is true. It just is, and will be.
I lean over to Sister Helga and just say, "Hey, this is what fanaticism does to one."
Let's briefly glance at him. I think I am capable of retrieving the sword. I may have burdens according to these people, but I do not in my own religion. Amos spoke to me the other day, and he told me that my time outside of the covenant outside of the nunnery is a trial. He did not abandon me. He's testing me, and in this test, I will not fail. I will get the sword. I will bring it back.
So the 2 women begin again interchanging as they speak. By your Lord's will, you serve, and you are tested. By our Lord's will, you live and you die. Whose Lord has more sway?
I kind of laugh and just shake my head and have to respond clearly, neither. They're both fake.
I'll shoot daggers at him with that one. Keep your mouth shut, elf.
What are you barking at?
Where is the sword then, ladies?
The sword will be revealed to those who are clean, those who are pure and unburdened by their lives. You cannot see the sword, you cannot find the sword, and you cannot meet our Lord if you hold on to what you were and do not allow yourself to become what you may be.
You're still speaking in riddles. Sister Helga will spin on her heel and march haughtily away up towards the golden dragon and the double bar cross to investigate.
As he walks away, they begin speaking again. Every lost lamb needs their shepherd.
I shall bar as I walk along.
And after Sister Helga sort of like, not so silently storms off, Teletheril, what are you up to?
So, Sister Helga's expecting what from this? Hang on. Damn neighbors.
So you've got plenty of elks out there, have you?
No, that's actually, they're firing a nail gun.
A nail gun? I thought you said
They
elk.
do construction out on the property, and I don't know what the hell they're building, but they've been doing that for 4 weeks.
Wow. So what does Teletheril do?
Do what? So Tella is standing there, or she walked haughtily away towards the dragon, right?
Yes.
I'm going to go over, and I'm going to stand in front of the dragon. I'm going to offend the fuck out of these people by pissing on the dragon.
Oh, disgusting.
They piss me off.
All right. Could you roll me a Defy Danger
Using?
using Wisdom?
Okay, because this is probably going to be a fail. Awesome. Yeah, it's a 5. I felt that.
5. So mark yourself down a point of experience. As Teletheril, very unceremoniously whips it out and begins alleviating himself in the direction of this statue. Teletheril, you can hear the sound of running water, and it sounds a little louder than it should. It sounds like it's right on your ear, and before you notice, you're actually completely submerged in water.
Yeah. Nice.
And when you emerge from the water, you emerge from a water basin with a statue on either side and a very familiar-looking hall.
Okay.
And Sister Helga, Teletheril just disappeared.
Side note, bad idea to piss on dragons. Just saying.
Sister Helga secretly thinks good riddance to him, but looks around anyway. Shrugs and examines the statue itself. And actually, she won't examine the statue first. She'll go over to the cross first and have a good look at the cross, see if I can glean anything, pick up any clues or anything.
So
maybe there's.
You're trying to discern realities?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Plus wisdom, right?
yes.
Wisdom. That sounds like my cup of tea. If I can find my wisdom. Yay! Okay, we've got a +2 on this one. Boom. Oh, oh the tests, these tests are sent.
That's a 6. So mark off a point of experience, if you will. As
I will.
all you can glean from the double-barred cross is that it is apparently made of gold, and it's, one long crucifix that seems to have a second shorter horizontal bar above the first bar. There's nothing else that you can really discern from it.
To place a hand on it and just feel the surface and give it a quick another once over. There's obviously nothing special about this thing, so I shall turn and look at the back of the dragon.
So as you look at the back of the dragon, Teletheral, again you emerge from a water basin, a little bit closer to the statue, and the red-robed figures and the white-robed women are standing there. Again, the familiar woman turns to you, shakes her head, and says, "Your sins are many. It seems that you must wash them away over and over and over again."
Which my response has to be at this point, if there is a hell, this must be it.
Oh, no, 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 no. To go to hell, you must pass the threshold. You must die. And as I've said before, it is by our Lord's will do you die or do you live.
I got a curious question. What does this water smell like? What kind of olfactory sensation is it giving me?
It's pretty scentless.
Okay, so it's basically just water. It's not scented. There's no perfumes, anything used in it.
There's no scent to it. It's not scented. There's no lilies on the water that makes it smell any other special way. The only odd thing that you can tell right now about the water is that it seems to cling to you. It doesn't seem to fall off as easily as you would expect water would.
Legitimate question as a side note, because I want to see something. Does it feel like it's causing any form of enchantment to me? Does it feel like it's making me, giving me any control over me at all?
No.
Okay. That's a legitimate question, because I can always remove that. Or try to, anyways. So I'm going to ship it off.
But then again, even if it did, you would have to figure out you're enchanted before you can shake it off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because knowing my character's personality, would it be like these people are starting to actually wear it down?
But right now, you don't feel any different.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I'm not feeling any different after being in this bath twice. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go ahead and shove my way past them and walk back over to the dragon and stand next to the dwarf. The racist dwarf.
And looking at the back of the dragon, Sister Helga. Yeah, what's Sister Helga up to? She's behind the dragon, checking out the dragon, and then Teletheral, makes himself known again, covered and soaked from the water of this basin, leaving a trail behind him.
What are you going to do this time? Defecate on it?
I just kind of laugh at him and go, one has to see how far one can get before trouble starts.
I'm surprised you've lived so long.
Me and you both.
Well, since we're stuck in this place together, I suppose we'd better work together. I think it may have been what Sir Roland...
Such a dreary proposition, isn't it?
A what proposition?
Dreary.
What? To find a sword?
No, working together.
Needs must. We must Form an alliance against a greater evil threat, whatever, against a foe, common foe. I'm not forgiving you for your atheist views, however, just setting them aside for now.
They're only atheistic because I don't believe. If you can prove to me that these people exist, I'll be more than happy to join up.
Stay with me, and I shall show you.
Kind of scoff at that as I kind of hide my chortle behind my hand.
So, have a look at this statue rather than peeing on it. See if you can find something out
Yes,
about
I'll
it.
discern realities as well and see what I can figure out about it.
Okay.
Because I
Yeah.
kind of, but I mean, I'm gonna do tactile everything. I'm gonna do everything short of like licking the motherfucker. And I rolled a
An 8? So that's one question that you can ask.
and there's a list, isn't there?
Yeah.
Let me get back.
What happened here recently? What is about to happen? What should I be on the lookout for? What here is useful or valuable to me? Who's really in control here? And what here is not what it appears to be?
Let's go with what is about to happen.
What is about to happen? What is about to happen? Yes. What is about to happen is on the route that you're going, the both of you, you feel that the both of you are about to go mad.
Well, I'm gonna kind of get taken back by that as I stumble backwards a little bit, and I shake my head and just mumble to myself that this statue has to be lying to me, that this couldn't possibly be true.
Sister Helga, too, will try and discern reality.
Okay.
That's a 10.
Also, you get like, what, 3 questions?
Okay, I get 3 questions.
Golly, all right, lay it on me.
Oh, man. That's the disadvantage of getting such a good roll. Okay.
You're making me make up my mind.
Let's start from the beginning. I need to know what's recently happened here. Was that the first one?
Well, what happened here recently? What is about to happen?
Yeah.
What should I be on the lookout for? So you're asking what has
Those.
happened here recently?
Yep.
At nail gun. Okay, what has happened here recently? Recently being subjective is you feel that there was a godlike power that rose to power, or a godlike being that came to be.
Yeah. Godlike. Okay then. And what here is useful wealth. What did it say? Useful to me?
What is useful?
Yeah.
You can tell as you're examining the statue. You notice the double-barred cross, the statue of the double-barred cross, and the double-barred cross on the red robes of the figures wearing golden masks, golden reptilian masks. They are the masks that represent the dragon's face on the statue. And what here would be useful is if you could get those robes and that mask, you feel.
Plan starts to tick away in her tiny brain.
And the last question.
What was the last of the list?
The very last question on Discern Realities is what here is not what it appears to be.
That was it. I'll try that one again.
What here is not what it appears to be?
Yes.
Sister Helga, at this point, Sister Helga and Teletheril, you see that the both of you are covered and soaked in blood. And the trail from the basins is a trail of blood.
So, I don't know what your reaction is there, Sister Helga, but I'm pretty sure that
Teletheril doesn't see it.
Okay, good. So
Sister Helga does.
If Tella is made aware by Sister Helga he's covered in blood, he's going to break down like a sissy girl, because he's a little prissy from heart.
Sister Helga's like, she looks you up and down, looks at herself, looks at the trail of water, and goes, "We're covered in blood."
Yeah.
Pool.
At this point, there's a breakdown.
The basins are blood.
There is a total breakdown because no, I am entirely too cleanly and prissy for this. I'm already mad that I had to wander through the woods. Now I'm covered in blood. You people are not doing me any favors here at all. So, what is your reaction?
Come, we will confront the women again, she says. Starts stomping towards the women. Unbuckling, as she goes, her armour, getting ready to take her clothes off.
And Teletheril?
Yeah, I'm totally behind him at this point. If he wants to... In fact, I'm beginning to think about different ways that I can kill these people that are extremely painful.
So, does Teletheril begin disrobing as well, or not?
Oh, yeah. I'm totally... No, I'm not staying in blood-soaked clothing. I'm not crazy.
So you walk back over to the women wearing white robes and the two other figures, the other two figures masked, wearing these red robes, and one by one you start shedding your clothing, and the women again begin alternating in their speech. So the lambs have come in search of their shepherd. This is good.
Sister Helga won't say anything. She'll just carry on, and because Teletheral's been calling him, him.
Yep.
He may get a surprise.
And with that, they hand you, the robes and help you put these red robes on. And Sister Helga, they fit perfectly. They're not too long. They were almost made for Sister Helga.
They accentuate my voluptuous figure, I believe.
Yeah, they fit her perfectly, and they actually start clinging to her body, clinging, as the blood is absorbed into the robes.
Okay.
Though you don't see it because your robes are indeed red. And after putting on the robes of Sister Helga and Teletheril, each of the women make the sign of the cross on your forehead. But instead of one, it's a double-barred cross.
Creepy.
Okay, all the time I'll be watching them from under hooded eyelids. Just waiting, not saying anything.
I'm kind of curious at this point as well, after I throw on this robe and kind of creeped out that they know my size. That's normal. Completely, totally.
Yeah. So as you're disrobing, and you finally have your robes on, you're noticing that all of your gear that you took off while you were getting naked it's gone. So
That hurts.
your hammer, your cross, your lute, your pack, everything is gone.
Wow.
And they each, each of the women make motion for you to walk forward towards the statue and say, "All roads lead to our Lord."
With bowed head, I shall make my way slowly towards the statue.
Well, if they're going to lead us, might as well go. I'm not going to break up the group. I've learned one thing in D&D, it's you don't split the party, so...
You always split the party. It's the best thing you can do. So as the two of you are walking down this hall, these robes, clinging to your bodies, to your blood-soaked bodies. The hall seems to get longer as you're walking. The statue seems to get further away. The figures seem to get further away. The basins seem to disappear after a while, and there's just rows and rows of armored figures. Eventually, walking through the hall, there's an opening, a door. Passing through this doorway, you enter what seems to be a throne room. There is an enormous statue of a great golden worm, its tail spiraling around the room, ending around its own neck, wrapping around several times. There is a massive double-barred cross on the opposite wall from you. There is a golden throne and a man sitting upon it. He has long, deep, dark hair, a thick mustache, and robes as black as midnight. Looking upon this man, you can see towards the bottom of his robes, there seems to be skulls, a skull pattern imprinted on the robes. As you draw closer, the skulls all turn to look at you. Mr. Helga,
What fresh 9 hells was this?
what do you do?
Halt. Taken aback initially, and greetings, Lord.
The figure grabs a goblet and just begins to drink from it shortly. Places it down. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm at this point, like, all sarcastic attitude has to be taken aback, but I do want to actually rack brain on Spout lore here, as, like, I'm kind of taken aback, but I'm kind of curious if I've even heard of something like this before. Ever.
Okay, so you'd have to make that roll.
Yep. Am I wrong on that?
It's an intelligence roll.
Okay, I'm good at this. Okay, so my 12, what's that going to do for me?
Ooh, the GM will tell you something interesting and useful about the subject.
Okay.
Interesting and useful. What's interesting and useful is that you're looking at this subject, and he rings a bell. Like, you've seen paintings of a man who looks just like this. Maybe not with this robe,
yep.
But finally all the patterns, the imagery is starting to come, ring bells. Though you don't know what it all means yet, you do know that the man before you was once a king centuries ago.
Okay. Well, once I get over that initial surprise, I'm going to grab the dwarf and kind of pull her close and be like, there's no way this guy is alive. He's centuries old. There's no way. And I'm just going to start babbling consistently with that in her ear.
Who are you, Lord? She will address the figure on this throne.
I'm taking it she's going to throw me off of her.
No, she'll take some comfort from this proximity.
The figure stands up. The man stands up. You know, he runs his hands across his chest, down his robe, and says, "I am he who has become death, the son of the dragon and lord of this realm."
What today?
And what is it you seek? Do you seek to expand your realm?
Any lord seeks to expand their realm, but it's not what I seek. It's you who have come here in search.
She'll smile coyly at him. Yes, you are right. She steps forward. We seek the sword. Not just any sword, but the sword which will help repel an invasion of undead, and I'll say point in time.
In this interaction, does Teleferal do anything?
No, he's still kind of taken back that this undead guy is standing in front of him. He's not real sure how to process this. You've seen how he doesn't believe in the afterlife and he doesn't believe in the gods and everything else.
Yeah.
It kind of is unbelievable because he's used to skeletons, he's used to zombies, not flesh and blood, sentient undead.
Motioning one hand towards one side of the room, you can see something you didn't notice before. There is a suit of scale mail. It's half destroyed, a chunk clean missing from it. Beside the scale mail is a holy symbol of Amos, and beside that there is a shattered sword. And the man speaks, "If you seek a sword, there is one before you."
I recognize those trappings.
It is the sword of a paladin you seek, is it not?
Just out of character.
Yeah.
Is it? Do we know what this sword? Does it have a name? Is it the sword of a paladin, or is it just the sword for a paladin?
It is a holy relic that can only be wielded by paladins. Its power is granted to paladins.
Right.
You can wield it as a normal sword. I mean, a sword is still a sword, and a sword cuts. But the power of this artifact is bestowed only upon paladins.
That is not the sword we seek. The sword we seek is one which is to be wielded by the paladin who shall drive the undead from our realm.
Without moving, the figure just smiles, his hand still extended towards that side of the room. He goes, "That is the sword in which you seek."
I shall look and stare at it again.
Nothing changes.
I'll look
Unless
back
you're
at
trying
it.
to discern realities, nothing changes.
Well,
I shall. Yeah. We'll walk towards it as well.
What I was trying to see how this all worked out.
Go
on. We're both probably going to wind up discerning realities on the sword because he's talking about it like it's the sword we've been looking for the whole freaking time. And which is going to irritate me because Roland could have saved us a lot of trouble. As it stands, though, I'm actually going to aid another, but this is going to be a little complicated with this. Before I do that, as I'm actually trying to do that, I'm actually going to start up a tale of Roland, which is going to actually weave into an arcane art.
Okay.
Okay, and hang on a second, I gotta make that stupid roll. So actually, I got it on a 7, which means it either draws unwanted attention or reverberates to other targets that can be affected by it. And actually, if I succeed in aiding him, he gets +2 instead of the normal +1.
All right. So we'll handle that after the aid action.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. So it says roll plus bond. So what would my bond with him rating be with him?
Well, it's roll plus bond means that you could have one or more bonds with any one individual.
Okay, so I've got +1 because I have one bond with him.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have to get a 7 up in order for the aid to be effective, right? Okay. Woohoo! I'll take that 8.
All right.
But it also says that I can be exposed to danger, retribution, or a cost.
Yeah, we'll handle that after the entire bit of checking the sword out and this aiding is resolved.
Well, let me go ahead and describe what type of song I'm singing and everything else so we get an idea. I start up this chant about Roland and his powerful, mighty weapon and how he's defeated many enemies with it and how powerful and great it is and everything else, hoping that there's something in that song that will trigger Sister Helga's memory and help her identify it as the weapon we're looking for.
Okay, moving closer. Sister Helga peers down at the sword. Before she touches it, she wants to examine it. So I shall try and discern the reality of this weapon.
All right.
And my roll is what was it? Discerning on? Is it
It's plus wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
wisdom? Yeah. So we're looking at a 9 there in
Plus
total.
2 more from my aid, so an 11.
True. Yep. Forgotten.
So that's 3 questions.
Okay, Ada. What would the questions be? Do you think?
Yikes.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's resolve all the negative effects of that overly complex aiding song thing. As Teleferal is singing this song about this artifact, the man with the black robe doesn't move, but you notice that the skulls on his robe move. The skulls begin to stare at you, and they're peering into your soul. They're peering into... It feels like they're rifling through every memory of yours, every experience, every sight, every scent, every sensation. Teleferal, would you roll me a Defy Danger with your wisdom?
Sure can. See what happens here. 8.
An 8? Okay, so let's see, a hard bargain, a worse outcome, or an ugly choice. Well, you succeeded, so a worse outcome. All right. What's your hit points?
12.
You have 12 hit points.
Right now.
Okay. Well, what's your max hit points?
18.
18. Take 9 points of damage.
Ouch, that's gonna hurt.
As Teleferal, as you're in the middle of singing, you can feel like your soul is being torn from you. Feel like you're being torn apart from the inside.
And then I still have the aid issue as well.
No,
right.
that's going to be everything.
Okay, that's just gonna throw it all in one pot and get Gary then. So I'm okay. So I'm having a feeling after I'm done singing this song, I'm gonna collapse to the floor, like to my knees. I'm pretty bad hurt. Like 3 hit points left, gonna hurt.
So there's these 3 questions upon discern realities that you still have yet to ask.
Right, vaguely hearing Teleferal slump to the floor behind her. She sort of half looks and then turns back to the sword. The questions. Okay, so what here?
Yeah, you can ask me right now in this moment. Whatever questions come to mind, you can ask.
Okay.
Don't feel bound by just those questions.
Right. This one may use up all 3, but I want to know if he's telling the truth. How would that fit into the the question gamut.
Well, you could ask if he's telling the truth. That's a
Is
question.
it? Yep.
That's one question.
Is he telling the truth? Is this the sword we seek?
You feel that he's not lying.
Well, that takes me aback. And I have a flashback to Teletherol saying, "Oh, if we should have told us earlier, it would have saved us a hell of a lot of trouble." Which brings me back to Teletherol as well. While I'm trying to think of something else,
yeah.
I'll go over and have a look and try and tend to his wounds, whether they're visible or
No,
mental.
there's no visible wounds that appear on Teletherol. Teletherol just felt like his soul was being torn apart.
Yeah, but collapsing to the floor is probably a bad sign, huh?
Kneel down.
But you still have two questions.
Yeah. Is Teletherol more important than the questions?
Is that one of your questions?
Yes.
The answer is no.
Right.
So now you have one question.
Yeah, that was a good question. In fact, that sort of solves another thing I was thinking about. Okay.
So,
Right.
lying.
And
Why not just point blank ask if this is the sword we're looking for? He has to be truthful.
yeah, he's already answered that one though. That was the first question.
Said you felt like he wasn't lying, but you can bend the truth without actually lying. Trust me, politicians do it all the time.
Nelson wouldn't do that to us.
Oh no, not at all. I trust everything Nelson does.
I have a
Where
very
is
trustworthy
Roland?
face.
Where is Roland is the other question, because that's indirectly connected to the sword.
Where is Roland?
Yes.
Lost in sin.
Okay, so I'll return to the sword, grasp it by the hilt, and lift it.
As you lift it, the sword begins to transform.
Okay.
It
Keep hold of
becomes-
it.
Yep, it becomes a full-on long sword. It is extraordinarily ornate. The handle goes from the leather-wrapped steel grip to becoming rings of engraved gold wrapped around a silver handle. The crossguard becomes like the statue that surrounds the room, a golden worm spiraling to one side, while its tail spirals around the other, coils back around until it meets its neck, coiling around its neck. And the sword itself is not steel, but silver. And you could feel a great deal of power in your hands right now. And though collapsed, Teletherol, you see this weapon's transformation as well.
Wow.
Nice. Well, seeing how I've lost like all my healing abilities except song, and I'm the only one who knows I'm like jacked to the point of no return. I am going to actually risk trying to heal myself here. Pretty
Okay.
good it works. He's going to start singing about singing a rhyme about healing mothers. God help me. Plus charisma. So let's see.
Shh. This is no time to
I got a
sing.
9. So it means I heal 2d8 hit points. So 7. I heal 11 hit points, but I draw unwanted attention, or yada 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 again.
So you heal 11, and at this song of healing and speaking about healing mothers, I don't know exactly what you say,
Well, I told you I don't sing, dude.
but this time the skulls, they seem to leave the robe
Mhm.
and run along the ground as shadows.
Nice.
And on the floor that you collapsed on that you were trying to sing
Yeah.
from, it just grows and grows in darkness.
Nice.
And Helga can see this as well, as Teletheral is slowly consumed by shadow.
Teletheral! She will say, finally speaking his name. And rush forward, brandishing the sword to waft away the shadows. Finally using her turn undead.
Do you swing at the shadows?
Yeah.
The sword transforms again, becoming nothing but a shattered blade.
Ah.
Can we get a break here, people?
You want to take a pause?
No, I said talk about the in-game stuff.
Oh, okay.
It is nothing but tests. I shall say, stepping back away.
As a matter of fact, Ian, are you good to keep playing, or would you like to take a pause for like a drink or a bio break?
I'm fine. I've got a drink with me.
All right, beautiful. So we'll continue. So yeah, this magnificent blade, this ornate gold and silver blade, becomes nothing more than leather wrapped hilt with shattered steel in your hands. All that sensation of power is gone.
Because I tried to use it against you, I shall say, pointing at the man on the throne.
Yeah, the figure sits back down. Teletheral, what do you do in this moment after trying to heal yourself, or after healing yourself, and now being slowly consumed by shadows?
First thing I wanted to do is try to get the hell out of the shadows, so I'm going to start flailing around and just run forward best I can.
You're just gonna run forward?
Hell yeah.
All right. The shadows are actually chasing you.
Of course they are.
They're just flying towards you.
So flying towards me. Oh,
And the figure just calmly turns around and sits back on his throne, grabs the goblet, and takes another drink.
Call off your hounds, your skull shadows.
one's going to help oneself. I, on the other hand, sensing that this has to be some form of enchantment, have to run the risk of further damaging myself to try to get rid of it. See what happens here. As he starts up another song of elvish lore about the powers of the elvish deities and their ability to destroy evil. And he rolls a 10. So he doesn't get anything bad this time.
Oh. But it's not an enchantment.
It's fine. He still doesn't. At least he gets away with it this time.
Yeah. So you're singing stuff again?
Yes.
All right. So as you're singing, the shadows envelop you once again. This time entirely, and as they fall to the floor and return to their home in this lord's robes, your voice is gone.
Wow. Nice. So,
And the lord of the realm turns to Helga and says, "Woman, you make demands. I thought you were one who serves."
It was hasty of me. It was more of a request than a demand. But yes, I am one who serves.
He takes another drink from his goblet. "So as one who serves, you served your king, you served your god, and you hold in your hands what you need. You may leave with it, but to do so, you must now serve me."
must serve the son of the dragon. And what are my duties?
To preach of the glory, the right to live or die, and the power over that in which I have, of course.
I must turn my own teachings virtually upon their head to give my previous lords the chance to defeat an evil, a great evil. I will do it.
All right, and with that, oh, now he shows up. We're close to the end. Poor guy.
I'm really sorry. Something came up. I apologize. I fucked up big time.
But yeah. Remember the part where you said, "Where is Roland?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Lost in sin." See, that was both in and out of game. That was.
Oh dear. Jeez, it's really
So,
embarrassing. Sorry, guys.
The shattered blade that you have in your hand, it transforms yet again into this ornate, powerful, magical artifact.
Good. I shall kneel.
And kneel you do. The figure, the Lord, turns to Teletheril, and asks, "You desire to sing?"
Since I can't speak, I'm just going to have to kind of use hand signals, I guess, here. Actually, I'm just going to nod at him.
Okay, you nod. Well, you've arrived in a realm. Well, you've arrived in this realm, and you stand here before the feet of the Lord of this realm. You may leave if you agree to sing the tale of this Lord's journey and ascension.
Again, can't speak. I'm just having to listen to him monologue.
He pauses. He waits for a response.
I'm going to try to speak. Does anything come out like a squeak? Anything?
You can say anything. You can say something, but you're not saying it with your voice.
Okay, so how am I saying? So I'm just going to think this at him, I guess?
Yeah, basically.
Best way to do that. I'm going to tell him that I don't bow before anyone, that bowing indicates servitude, and servitude is for the weak.
And you think this, and several of the skulls on his robe, they begin chattering, and your voice comes out of the robe. He nods. He goes, "That is really disappointing." And then he turns to the wall. He looks at the shattered scale mail hanging at the wall, and just goes, "And you who would defend your lands, you who would guard those weaker than you may leave in service, in my service. Renounce the falsehood of your religion. Serve me as a guardian for eternity." And he's looking at your armor, Sir Roland.
I will never serve you. I will. I just can't. I refuse.
So again, another skull on the robe begins to chatter, and you hear, the both of you hear Sir Roland's voice say what was just said. Helga, as you're kneeling and you're hearing this, the sounds seem to get slightly further away, and you're feeling the warmth of a rising sun on your skin.
I shall look up,
You look up.
holding the sword, sort of point down into the earth with the crossguard above.
All right. So you can describe to me the scene as it looks, as you're looking up and you see whoever sent you on this quest standing there before you. How does that look?
Okay, we're on a rise overlooking the city, the main city where we came from. So we're looking down a gentle slope, which soon starts sprouting into small holdings, small hamlets, shacks, which slowly become a huge stone wall of the main city, and beyond that you can see spires and tower tops, flags, pennants flying. This man stands by my side over me. We're both staring down at the city, and Sister Helga stands using the sword to regain her stance. It's going to regain her feet, and she looks up at this man. He's a human, one of the king's most trusted warriors, statesmen. And she looks back at the sword and looks at him. Looks at her own clothing. Is she still wearing the revealing red robes?
Yes.
She still shakes her.
The red robes aren't sheer, but they do cling to her.
Okay. She shakes and tussles her red hair. Pulls the sword out of the ground. Holds it by the blade and offers it to Councillor Johim.
All right. Teletheril.
Yes.
As you see Sister Helga look up, and as Sister Helga looks up, in place of where Sister Helga's face was, you see a golden draconic mask. And when she stands, she fades away into nothingness.
Nice.
So how does Teletheril react to this?
Well, since he can't scream out, can't do anything like that, he is going to, he basically is going to make a deal with the devil, even though he doesn't mean this. So, what I'm gonna have to see if I can figure this out the right way. I want to do a defy danger with charisma to lie my way into making this guy believe I'm going to actually serve him, and then when I get back to the regular world, I'm gonna screw him over as much as possible.
You can say whatever you want.
What I'm saying is, as far as actually trying to get him to believe it, is a different story. Is he going to believe what I'm offering?
I'd rather you just say it.
That's fine. Hey, you're him, dude. I'm going to tell him that to fulfill his wishes, I'll gladly spread his message across whatever land we're in. I don't know if you have a name for it or not. And that I will do so among the elves to replace their heathen gods.
As you say this, you get visions, some very, very vivid, very powerful visions. There's years and years and years of information being just thrust upon you. The thing that stands out the most is that atop this hill, you see the mansion that you were in, the mansion that you looked upon when you were outside. It is brand new. There are no dead vines on the gates. The grass outside is green and fresh and alive. There is no forest around this house in your vision, but there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of men and women of every race you could imagine, impaled, sliding down these very tall spikes, screaming out in pain. And you see the figure of a man, of a mortal man, again, long black hair, a very thick mustache, sitting outside of this mansion before this forest of impaled victims, simply having a midday's meal.
Well, that is definitely creepy. So at this point, I'm definitely going out on a limb, and I'm going to try not to react to that if I can. And I am going to tuck that away for future reference. And I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that he got into my head like that.
But what do you do?
I'm going to continue telepathically communicating with him, and I'm going to play the old wink, nod, say yes and just nod to get him to leave me alone kind of thing.
Okay.
I just continually just make it clear through whatever cues I need to make it clear that I accept whatever he's willing for me to do. Basically, I'm going to continue my bluff. I'm just going to continue feeding him until he believes I'm actually on his side, whatever that takes.
All right, and the figure turns again to the armor on the wall and shakes his head. You can serve me in life, or you can serve me in death. And he's addressing Sir Roland.
I won't serve you in death, and I won't serve you in life. Your words are meaningless to me. I know where I'm gonna go when I die.
The figure, you can hear one of the skulls again ushering Sir Roland's voice to Letheril, and the Lord smiles, takes another drink from his golden goblet, and he goes, "When you die, where you go is of my choosing, and mine alone." He turns to tell him,
You are wrong, because my soul has been always that of my God, of Amos, and that is where I will that is where I will heed. You can destroy my body, but my soul is never yours.
he goes, "Your soul was mine the moment you crossed the threshold." Turns to Teletheril, waves a hand, and Teletheril, you are beside Sister Helga, just as she's handing over this artifact.
I'm not going to stop her because, as far as I'm concerned, she's doing the right thing. But because that's who hired us to pick this thing up in the first place, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm not going to try to stop her. There's no point in that. I do have her look at her, and I give her kind of a wry smile and just shake my head and leave it kind of unsaid between the two of us through kind of body language. I can't believe that idiot fell for that.
That's a smile.
Wait, did you say that to her?
Don't say it. I'm just kind of giving body language hints. I'm not dumb enough to say this out loud.
Okay. Sir Roland, we're back in this room, and because you weren't here when he said it, there was a moment where he actually introduced himself.
Yeah.
And what he said is, "I am he who has become death, son of the dragon, lord of this realm."
Okay. So what dragon are you talking about?
That is just how he introduces himself.
Okay.
I just saw what you typed in chat. So he already introduced himself, and I'm just letting you in on what you missed.
Okay. Yeah. It was my fault. So if I'm eternally tormented, or I'm some kind of Cthulhu monster by now, it's okay.
I won't let you be eternally tormented. I'll let you know when we go offline.
Okay. Good.
I like that.
Well, okay. My character is just desperate at this point, and he's in deep cosmic shit, and what he starts praying to Amos. He says, Amos, protect me from the evil false gods that try to claim themselves as gods, that have spawned from hell, like this one. Protect me from him. Protect my soul. Take my body, and I will serve you for eternity at your side in the halls of justice.
You're praying to Amos, and all the words in which you utter come from a skull upon this figure's robe. Again, sorry, let me just describe this figure to you, because you weren't here. He has very long, dark, flowing hair, a very thick, heavy mustache, and he's wearing robes as dark as midnight. And towards the bottom of the robe, there is like skull design of just countless skulls. These skulls turn around and they move to look at people. And right now, one of them is like chattering, its jaws flapping open and closed. And as it does so, your voice is escaping.
Okay. I will. I don't even know at this point. I'm just like not sure what to do at this point. I'm like confused because I haven't seen this kind of power really, and I don't understand what these skulls. So when I speak, the skulls speak instead.
Yeah, and your voice comes out of one of those skulls, and your body is nowhere to be found. He is actually talking to your armor.
To my armor.
And your armor is hung up on a wall.
Okay, so he probably like out of character, and maybe he's like put me inside my soul into the skull. Am I able to wiggle myself free from his chain or something? That would be silly, I guess.
I don't know what you'd be trying to wiggle.
Well, I continue praying to Amos because that is what I would like to, if I have the ability to try to do a roll, to maybe find out what I know about this person, if there's anything my character knows about him.
Yeah, that would basically be a spout lore roll.
Okay, so it would be wisdom or intelligence.
I believe it's intelligence for spout lore.
Okay, so it's then a normal 2d 2d6, or is it? I think 3d6, right?
2d6. 2d6.
2d6. Okay, mixing it up with Gerb's. Well, I fucked up 3. So that's what I get for being super late. That's the dice gods.
You know nothing about this figure. There is nothing, and you don't even remember. The last thing you really remember that you can call back with any clarity is when the cannon blew you off your horse. You just remember that sensation of intense pain. Everything else is cloudy.
Okay. Then what I will do is that I will basically I will continue to pray to Amos at this point. So I have like that is what I will do. I mean, I have really no options here because I don't even know like what the hell is going on in this sense. So
all right.
So okay, wait. I tell him. So my options are basically to join you or to stay in this state forever.
He goes, you are a man who is dedicated to service, and you will serve. You will serve me either in life or in death. It is by your will that you will live. By my will that you would live.
But who exactly are you?
He smiles again.
What
Takes
is your relationship to the gods?
The gods all bow down. As I said, I am he who has become death. We'll jump over to we'll fast forward. This is taking, like, in game. It is taking a very long time. It is like a drawn out conversation. I'm assuming like hours will go by of prayer that happens, or days, or maybe even years. You can't tell in this state. But outside the House of the Sun, Sister Helga agreed to spread, to serve this Lord, correct?
She did. She
So-
did as a sacrifice
The, fir- yeah,
to bring
the,
the sword.
the first suit of armor and the first weapon Sister Helga grabs, it actually transforms, much in the way that Roland's shattered sword transformed. And
Yeah.
the hammer becomes ornate gold. There's a double barred cross that forms on either side of the hammer. Any helmet Sister Helga wears becomes a golden mask of a dragon. Her armor becomes a dark and deep red with a draconic symbolism on it. And from that day forward, Sister Helga becomes a cleric of the House of the Sun. And even the undead that Sister Helga fell, never rise again, even without this artifact. Teleferal agreed to sing songs of, the Lord of the House of the Sun, and sing the tales of his ascension. Though he did it, as a lie, every time Teleferal opens his mouth to sing a song, tell a tale, or spout any lore, it is always of the Lord of the House of the Sun. It is always of the Son of the Dragon. And until the day Teleferal means these words, and means for these words to escape, none of his abilities that require lore or singing work.
Oh, sad face. Hey, he said he would spread his word. You can say he'd be effective about it.
Yeah. So, Sir Roland, you guys never, or for many years now, you don't see Sir Roland. So let's go back to Sir Roland. In this state, you wouldn't have known how much time goes by, but it is years, many years that go by. So after many years of prayer and the questions that you already asked, what is Sir Roland doing?
Well, I'm obviously going insane at this point, because I feel that my god has abandoned me, or this is the new god. But then I feel like you have somehow captured me. You cannot be the true. You cannot be more powerful than the gods. I will never accept you and your false godhood.
All right. As he says that, the one thing that he does remember is when he first met this the white-robed woman, the woman that was bathing in the basin, and the red-robed figure beside her with the golden mask. When they brought them before the golden statue of the dragon and the double-barred cross, you remember some of her words about cleansing yourself, bathing away your sins, and unburdening yourself of the trappings of the world.
Okay, I remember that, and I say that if I cleanse myself from that, then I lose who I am, and I lose my purpose, because that's what drives me. Everything that I've done bad in this world, I must fix with servitude to the gods, to the true gods.
And with that, unfortunately for you, Sean, we're gonna call it because it's a little after 4.
That's fine.
So that is the House of the Sun. To anybody viewing now or in the future, I hope you enjoyed. To my players, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll do all the spoilers as soon as we go offline, but from my left to my right, in the order on my screen. If you would like to introduce yourselves and plug any online endeavors in which you are doing, we'll start with the ever-present Sean.
Yeah, I apologize again immensely for missing most of this game. Just something came up, and I'm sorry. But yeah, I enjoyed this game. At least I enjoyed definitely the first 2 sessions and the rest of this. And you should check out Nelson's channel for sure. You can check out my stuff, Gaming Beast 82 on YouTube. So.
And Ian.
Hey, Whitey here. Enjoyed playing Sister Helga. Ex-maiden of the Hammer, but now the Dragon Maiden in red. I have nothing to plug. Just have a look at these other guys, and thanks to Kyle and oh man.
You can't say it, can you?
Oh, thanks to Nelson and Sean, and yay! Thanks for watching. Been a good game. Cheers, guys.
Hey, Kyle.
I'm Kyle. I'm actually with Legacy Game Mastering. You can find us on YouTube at Legacy Game Mastering. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Legacy Game Mastering. We are also at legacygamemastering.wordpress.com. We are still working our way through Planescape, which I mentioned last week. Thank God. I'm also getting ready to tackle a couple other big projects. Actually, some really big projects and some big jumps for the brand. So I'm going to keep those under wraps until we're a little more secure in what we're doing, for sure. As always, always watch Nelson's stuff, because if nothing else, it's always funny. And harass the living daylights out of him on YouTube. Seriously. I'm done, man.
And if you didn't already know, I'm Nelson. I mean, right? You could stay tuned. In the next just under 2 hours, I'll be doing another Dungeon World game, which is the final session of Wicked Pearl's Mansion. You can stay tuned to the channel or check out Infinite Roleplay on Facebook. I'm working on a book turning D&D into a very 1980s-ish Saturday morning cartoon action game. So, there's that. And that's it. We're going. No more live. Bye-bye.